What's up, adventuresses? In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing why Slovenia needs to be on your bucket list as a horse rider and an equestrian adventuress. In today's episode, I'm taking you to the magical kingdom of dragons, okay? That is Slovenia. And we're going to be discussing how you can ride horses in Slovenia, what you should see, some top travel tips, and of course, where you can book your next horse riding trip. I've actually been to Slovenia already, and so I'm going to give you some personal first-hand information about, what I recommend and what I felt, what my impressions were. And of course, you can also check out our other episodes on YouTube about Slovenia and horse riding in Slovenia. We have a very lovely documentary, and it has a whole lot of information and really cool, fun adventures. So I would definitely recommend that you check out our other YouTube videos. I'm going to be sharing with you some information which can be actually found in the World Travel Guide for Equestrians book. Now, if you're like me and you like paperback books, you can find this on Amazon. It's available worldwide. And of course, if you just want a digital ebook copy, then I'm going to give you a gift as a present for subscribing to our channel and hitting the like button. All you have to do is click on the link in the show notes in the description, and I'm going to be giving you a free ebook. You can also find it on our website, equestrianadventuresses.com. We worked really hard to actually find some amazing horse riding places around the world. So this guidebook, actually you can search for places based on budget, terrain, time of year, and the types of horses that they have. So this is a great handy book if you are looking for different unique places around the world and you're not really sure where to start and what highlights that you don't want to miss and what kind of food to eat and what language they speak. So definitely check out the guidebook. It's actually a perfect gift for an equestrian lover like you. And I just want to give a quick disclaimer, whenever you're traveling and you're booking horse riding tours around the world, please, check out their website thoroughly, join our Equestrian Adventuresses Facebook group and kind of leave a message, chit chat with others who've actually been there, and just do your due diligence, do some research, make sure that the horse's welfare is priority and that the horses are all healthy and happy. I'm sure you've probably heard some horror stories of, other countries not taking care of their horses properly. So of course, if you get our guidebooks for equestrians, then you're going to find a little blue verification badge. So what that means is basically I've actually verified that stables with my own eyes. And luckily, in today's episode, you're going to be seeing a verified stable, which I have actually visited. So you can sleep easily tonight knowing that this stables has been verified. Now, just because the stable hasn't been verified, doesn't mean that they're not good or that they don't care for the horses. It's just that I physically haven't seen it yet. And it's just really difficult for me to go to every single stables in the world. There's so many of them. So that's why I say, please just kind of do your research, check out their website. And as long as the horses look happy and healthy, then I would definitely say to book the trip. Without any further delay, let's get into it. The first thing that I want to say about Slovenia is that it's a country that's not really on a lot of people's radar. Especially as an American like myself, not very many people have even heard that Slovenia is an actual country. They probably can't point it out on a map, and they have no clue what they are missing out on. Which is one of the reasons why I think you need to visit Slovenia, because it is stunning, it's beautiful, it's super unique and interesting. I'm going to be diving more into that later. But it's one of those places that it's not super touristy and it's very easy to get away from the masses. And even if you're in the capital city, it feels so cute and quaint, and it doesn't feel like you're being overwhelmed by tourists like you are at the Eiffel Tower in France or, in Paris or something like that, or in Venice in Italy. Slovenia is actually well known for its caves, and inside of these caves are really small salamander creatures which are tied with thousands of legends about dragons. These salamanders were actually once believed to be baby dragons, hence why Slovenia is kind of a dragon place for, tales and legends and fables. Now, these little salamanders are actually called olms, and they're only found in a very small part of the world. So Slovenia is actually one of the only places that you can actually see these unique little creatures. So these little baby dragons have captivated people's imaginations for centuries, and the earliest written stories about the olms include stories of dragons living inside the Postojna cave, which is one of the largest caves that you can actually visit on your trip in Slovenia, and I would definitely highly recommend that you pay a visit to this cave. It is huge. One of the other famous destinations in Slovenia is actually Lake Bled. Now, this has a cute little church, or a cute little, there's also a little castle on top of a hill, but it's kind of in a little tiny island in the middle of this beautiful pristine lake, and it is a little bit more of the touristy spot in Slovenia. However, again, when I visited, there was like, I don't know, 3 people walking around in the castle taking pictures. Like, it really wasn't a thing. So I would definitely recommend going and visiting Lake Bled. And then, of course, in Slovenia, there is a little tiny portion of Slovenia which is touching the Adriatic Sea. And then, of course, it's touching Italy, so, you can always pop into Italy if you fancy. But what I really want to talk about in Slovenia is actually the nature. Because Slovenia has beautiful churches, old castles, cute little villages, but also just unique nature. And I remember when I was riding in Slovenia, I was stunned that, one second we were riding in like a tunnel and there was like cliffs and caves, and then the next second we were like up on these mountaintops, and then we kind of went down in the meadows and we were kind of having a nice little canter. So there was just such a variety of the terrain. We were even riding, splashing around in the rivers, and it was, such a fascinating place to ride. And particularly, I really enjoy riding in these cute little villages. And, like the villages where the locals aren't really used to seeing a bunch of foreigners riding around on horses. We were riding our horses through one of the villages, and all of the locals wanted to basically invite us for a drink. And by drink, I mean like a little shot of schnapps. And it's funny, so, we had our little shot of drink, and then we kind of mounted back on the horses and continued our ride. And it's funny because the guy who, owns the horses in this kind of tour operation, he was laughing, saying, we were lucky today that it was just one family that invited us for a drink, because usually it's like every other house in the village, and basically by the time you leave the village, you're like completely drunk. So we got lucky that day. I don't know. But yeah, it was just like such a friendly, interesting place to ride in the villages. And then we literally rode to a castle. I mean, more than once, by the way. We rode up to the castles, parked our horses, let them stand there, while we went inside and wandered around inside this, like, abandoned castle that no one was, like, bothered that we were walking around in it. So I think Slovenia is just one of those really unique and special places. And I'm not going to lie, it hadn't really been on my radar until more recently. But I'm so glad that I went. And everyone that went as well, they said the same thing. And again, you can watch the full documentary on our YouTube channel. But basically, like, it was just so much fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed, and I feel like Slovenia is a place I would go again and again and again without question. So at this point, you're probably wondering, like, okay, where can I ride horses in this beautiful country? I'm sold. So you definitely need to go and ride at Horses on Breg. This place is actually owned by a man. His name is Borit. He's so much fun, and he's like very knowledgeable, and there's a lot of bears in the forest and things, and we'd be riding along, and he would like jump off of his horse and like find bear tracks and say exactly the age of the bear, and like all these kind of crazy facts. And I was like, oh my gosh. So Horses on Breg is definitely a lot of fun. And what's also unique about it is you're actually going to be riding in Western saddles. They do have some Icelandic horses, so some English and some Western. But most of us, we rode with the Western saddles on quarter horses, and I haven't seen quarter horses since I left America, like years ago. So it was just a lot of fun, and it was kind of a funny experience, like riding in this like ancient village on a quarter horse in a Western saddle. So it was just absolute fun. I enjoyed every second of it, and I can highly recommend Horses on Breg. I think one of the great things about Slovenia that might actually surprise a lot of people who are thinking like, oh, I would love to travel, but I can't afford it. Slovenia is extremely affordable, and the Horses on Breg, like, it's great. I mean, depending on how many days you want to ride or whatever, they have different programs and packages, but you can find a very affordable trip with them, and there's absolutely no reason not to go. It includes your hotels and meals and everything, so it's like, basically, you don't have to spend any extra money. You can hire a rental car after your horse riding expedition, and you can kind of cruise around. Like I said, you can pop into Italy. I mean, it's one of those places that it's super affordable, has delicious food, beautiful nature, and you get to ride horses. Like, there's absolutely no reason not to do it. So if you have an excuse of, oh, I can't afford it, just check out their website and just see like how much it costs to book a flight, because honestly, it's very affordable and very doable. So Horses on Break actually has tours for less than $1,000, and again, that's all-inclusive packages. And they also have some tours, obviously, if you're riding for more days, between $1,000 and $3,000. So super affordable. I think everyone can be able to save up and go to Slovenia, and there's absolutely, like I said, there's no reason not to go. The best time of year to visit is between March and October, and you're going to be spending between 3 to 5 hours or 5 hours or more in the saddle each day. And as I already said, you're going to be riding either English or Western, and they do require that you are an intermediate or an experienced rider. You are going to be cantering around and climbing up mountains and things. However, non-riders are welcome, if you have a spouse or family members that want to visit Slovenia, but they're not necessarily horse riders, then they can definitely cater to that, and they can go and explore some pristine waterfalls and go swimming or go visit the caves or the castles while you are out exploring Slovenia on horseback. If you are really interested in traveling the world on horseback, but you're a little bit nervous, you don't know where to start, or you're a little bit concerned, as a solo female traveler, then what I would suggest is actually for you to check out our master class, our Equestrian Adventuresses master class. It's an online video course. It's 7 hours long, has 3 different modules, and we cover different topics such as women's travel safety, goal setting, how to be able to actually achieve your goals, save for trips or things like that, as well as, of course, our famous Speaking the Horse Language course, where you can learn to have a sticky butt. So that way you're not kind of nervous or fearful that you might actually fall off of your horse or, kind of get in a situation because you don't want to go to the hospital when you're abroad. It's just not fun. So, we have the Speaking the Horse Language class, so that way you can become a more confident rider and you can be able to ride any horse in any situation, any terrain, and have a sticky butt and be connected with your horse. Thank you so much for watching. Please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the like button. That actually helps the YouTube algorithm so that this video can get found by others. And if you have a friend or family member that you think would love to tag along with you on this trip to Slovenia, please share this video with them, and also check out our Facebook group. And you can actually, in our Facebook group, watch other people's videos or photos or listen to their experiences when they were riding in Slovenia, or you can share your personal experiences, and you can just get a lot of questions and information and answers there. So thank you so much for watching, and happy trails!